Hi, I'm Jess. Welcome to my barbecue shack. Today I'd like to make a video showing you how I do rotisserie chickens on the Weber Kettle Grill. I'll walk you through how I truss the chicken, inject it, season it, and then how I set up the rotisserie on the Weber Kettle. Then after that it's just a matter of adding charcoal when we need to and checking those internal temperatures. I don't really have a time frame for this one. We're just going to cook it to about 165, 170 in the breast. And then we're going to pull it off, we're going to rest it, and then we're going to cut into it. Stick with us. We're going to have fun with this one. Okay, we're going to start out by making our injection. I have a standard poultry injection that I use for anytime I'm cooking any type of poultry, which basically is just chickens and turkeys. I'm gonna start out with a half a stick of butter. And I'm going to do 1 cup of chicken broth. And then I'm going to do about a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half of whatever my favorite rub is that day. Today it happens to be Killer Hogs hot barbecue rub. And now if I was doing a turkey or something, I would double this. I would do a whole stick of butter, 2 cups of chicken broth, and probably a tablespoon of barbecue rub. But we're just gonna slowly melt this, and then by the time we need it, it should be ready. Thanks. Okay, we're back. Now that we have the injection going, it's time to truss the chickens. Now all I did is I rinsed them off in the sink, dried them with some paper towel. I did cut the tails off them. Other than that, I didn't do a whole lot of trimming. And here's what we have. Now when you truss a chicken, you want to tie it up so that nothing's hanging off or flapping around. You just want a nice, neat little package so everything cooks nice and even like that. So here's what I do. And I know there's 100 ways to truss a chicken. This is the way that I found that works good for me. First thing I do is I flip the chicken over and I find the neck. Then I take my piece of twine and I hook it around the neck and I pull it so it's really in there. It's good and snug. And I flip the chicken back over. I bring the twine up like this around the legs. And then I tie the two legs together. Now you're gonna want to tie them. You're gonna want to tie them really tight, and I'll show you why in a second. So, don't be afraid to really pull the string tight and get them good and tight like that. What I do is, and then I come around like this. And I tie them on top. Like that. And then I tuck the string underneath so that it's coming out the bottom. And then what I do is I take the breast and I pull it up over the legs like that. That's why I like to tie them good and tight, so I can get that breast up over the legs, and I just think it cooks more evenly that way. Then with the remainder of the string, I tuck the wings in, if they go, and I bring the string around back up to the front. Again, you're going to want to tie this good and tight so that it holds everything in really nice. Okay? Get a good knot in there. There. And I just take the scissors, cut the string off. Then I try to tuck the wings into the legs, and sometimes they go, sometimes they don't. But one thing is, even if they do go, once you start cooking, they'll probably pop out. But that doesn't matter. It still cooks pretty good anyways. So there's your chickens, ready to go on this. Okay, now that we have the injection going, it's time to get the charcoal started. So what I'm going to do is, you don't want to do a whole lot of charcoal. I have a basket in here. And I'm just going to fill that basket up so I know how much that needs. And then I'm going to dump it in the chimney to get it started. Because you really don't want to overdo it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a couple of wax cubes in the bottom of the grill. Start those. There we go. And by the time we get the chicken seasoned and ready, hopefully the charcoal will be ready to start cooking. Okay. Okay, now that we got the chickens all tied up, it's time to get them on the spit. So first we're going to start out by putting the first fork on. And it doesn't matter if you don't get it lined up perfect, because we can always adjust it later on. You know, you want to there. And what I like to do is I like to put the chickens opposite of each other, one you know, breast side out, and then one up and one down, and to get it as even as possible on the spit. So we'll put the first one on. Just sink it right in there. Now the second one, I'm going to go the opposite direction, but I'm also going to go upside down. So hopefully it stays nice and even on there. So I'm going to get the other fork. And if you're doing more than 2 chickens, you can do it like this, but then you just have to you know, if you got a chicken in the middle, say you're doing 3 and you have one in the middle, run some skewers through them to hold them together. There we go. Now I'll tighten this one down. There. Now I'm going to get the ring, and we'll try to get it as even as we can. So if it's sitting like this, yeah, that actually looks pretty good. They're pretty well in the middle. So I'm just gonna like try to figure out, you know, where the heaviest side is. I'm actually thinking I'm gonna tighten this down just a little bit. They're kind of getting a little wobbly there. And then I try to find out which. So I'm going to put the, figure out what the heaviest side is, and then I take the counterweight and I put it on the opposite side. So if it's hanging down like that, I'm going to put the weight up like this, and that should make it, see? That should make it pretty even, so that the motor doesn't have to work very hard. Okay, now that we got them on here, I'm going to get my injection off the stove, and we can start injecting. I'm just using actually I'm going to use that to prop the pan up. We'll just try to get them in the, try to get it in the breast as much as possible, because that seems to be where the chicken tends to dry out. the other one. You know, if you got some left over, you can shoot it in the thigh a little bit. But the thighs don't really need it. They usually stay pretty moist. We got a little left. Oh, it's getting hard to get at. So now, just going to dry them off a little bit. Then what I'm going to do is, instead of a binder, I'm just going to hit them with a little bit of Pam cooking spray. It'll act as a binder, plus the grease will help the skin brown up a little bit. And what we're going to do is we're going to do two different ones. The first one we're going to do Killer Hog's Hot Barbecue Rub. Make sure you get it all over. I like to do two different flavors on this, give a little bit of a variety. And then on the second one, we're going to use Swine Life Mississippi Grind. Yeah, that's a good one. That'll make for a nice rotisserie chicken. There. Now we got them all seasoned up and ready for the grill. Okay, now the chickens are all ready to go on the rotisserie. We got them injected, we got them trussed, we got them seasoned. Now it's just a matter of setting up the grill. So I'm going to put my little charcoal basket in here. And I'm going to fill it with charcoal. And you're going to want a good amount of charcoal, but, you know, don't go overboard. And then, just a second, I got a stray piece of charcoal in there. There we go. Now I like to put a water pan right in the middle that's going to go right under the chickens. There. Now we're going to set up our rotisserie like that. We'll get the motor put on. Okay, we'll plug the motor in, and I like to check it real quick just to make sure it's working. So I'll go get the chickens. Now it's just a matter of getting them plugged in and on there. Get it started. Okay, we got them rotating. Now I have the bottom vents all the way open, and I like to open these like most of the way. I would say between half and 3/4 of the way, and then now I don't really have a timeline, but we'll check them in about an hour. I know that in about an hour I'm gonna have to add more charcoal, so we'll see you then. Hi, we're back. Now it's been a little over an hour, and I want to check the chickens. I'm sure they're not done yet, but I'm gonna check them anyways. I got get right in the breast there. It's about 145. You know, we still got about 20 degrees to go. Check this. We can check this one in the thigh. It's about the same. And since they're not ready yet, I want to put some more charcoal in there. There's a couple of ways you can. I already got a chimney of charcoal lit. There's a couple of ways you can get it in there. You can use tongs to get in there, but today I'm just gonna I'm gonna do it the lazy way. I'm gonna take the chicken right out, and I'll just set the chicken right here for a second. Then I'll get my chimney of charcoal that I've already got lit and going, and I'll just dump it in there. Now, just one thing that I want to say is that I know you're going to be tempted to put the unlit charcoal right on top of the coals there. That seems like that would be the easiest thing to do. I recommend against that because before that charcoal lights, it's going to sit there and it's going to smolder for a few minutes. And to me, that just makes that, when that charcoal smolders like that, it just makes the chicken taste bad. I don't like that taste. So I like to light the charcoal in the chimney first, and then once it's going good, then I pour it in there. Okay, all right, we're back. It's been a little over 3 hours. I did add charcoal one more time. I don't know if I needed to or not, but I did, and I think they're just about ready. I'm going to check them, and I'm going to check the temperature real quick, and I'm going to see where we're at. Here, we got one of them. We're 171 in this one. We'll try this other side. This one's about 167. Now we'll check the other one when it comes around. I think we're there. Let's see where we're at in this one. We're about this one. Yeah, this one we're at 170, 175. So okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull them. Okay. I'm just gonna undo the skew. Take the forks out. There's one. Pull that out. Oh, these are beautiful. These are just beautiful. What do you think of that? Now I'm just gonna cover them with tin foil. We'll let them rest for about 20 minutes or so. I'm just gonna loosely cover them, just to let them rest, let the juices kind of draw back into them. Yeah, and then we'll be back in about 20 minutes to cut into these and see how they taste. We'll see you then. Hi, we are back, and this is the moment that I think we've all been waiting for. We are gonna cut into this and see where we are at. Oh, did you see that? I just pulled that bone right out. This is good. This is gonna be good. I want to get me some of this. First, we gotta get this string off of here. Look at the way it's just falling apart. This is crazy. This is crazy. First, let's try a little bit of that breast meat. Oh man, look at that. This is so tender and juicy. It's just coming right apart. Get some of this string out of here. Look at that leg. Just comes right off. Just pulls right apart. That is beautiful. Look at that. Man, I gotta get a little bite of this. Let me see. That is juicy. That is good. The flavor goes right through the meat. Injecting it like that puts the barbecue rub right into the meat. Let me get some of this dark meat here. Look at it. Look at it. It's just falling right off the bone there. That is good. This is fantastic. It's a good way to spend your day off. Just getting right into it. Have a good day and keep barbecuing.